It is the second week of the Spooktober event. Now, I know that our week this week has ended up being a lot spookier than we wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
You had to work for 47 years straight,
I did.
and you only had to work for 47 years straight because I had to be in the hospital helping out with a family member who was sick.
Yep.
So our weeks have been spent differently. You got to
just as long.
Yes, because mine was spent sleeping for like 4 hours and then getting up in the ass cracking of the morning so I can get to Murfreesboro before tests are being ran. That was like 3 days in a row. So I was it was fine. I'm glad everything ended up all right. We were worried about the big C word, and once the big C word got taken off the table, then we could breathe. So you, on the other hand, had to deal with what could be the roll of the dice chaos that is the Dollar Dab Day.
And just vape sack prime in general sometimes.
You never, it's like a box of chocolates.
It is.
You never know what you're going to get.
And it's like sometimes you just got to hold on to good parts that may crop up. Like, it's like, man, at least these customers were real super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you got to make that decision to let the good customers outweigh the bad sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a struggle to make that decision.
Because, I mean, one would think that Dollar Dab Day would be, kind of an interesting idea to be able to bring in customers to sample the product before they buy a quantity of it. It hasn't necessarily worked out that way yet, but
I think it will eventually. We are getting more people, and I don't remember where I was going with that.
we were getting more people that come in to try the stuff and end up buying more quantity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I present it to people as more like a sample bar, you can try it before you buy it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's what they need to make that sale, because our prices are good, but they're a little higher than what's around, but that's because we've got better quality than everybody around us,
Mm-hmm.
which is true. I've tried everybody around us.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one person in the circle that disappointed me more than all the others this week.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't even a customer.
Oh, who was it?
I'm not going to name any names,
Uh-huh.
but you know how on TikTok and stuff I send videos?
I'm sorry.
I know. And this individual said,
I'm sorry.
I'd hate to see your For You page. And I went, that hurts.
That's no. It wasn't.
Some people lift and manipulate heavy objects.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you.
I thought that it was me for not
No.
being a responsive enough TikToker. It was somebody
No.
else entirely.
No, somebody else entirely.
What now? Was it?
They know who they are.
Do they really?
Yeah. Because I also made a TikTok.
Did you make a Nerd It Through the Grapevine TikTok I hadn't
did.
seen
I
about
did.
that person?
I did. And that person commented on it.
I bet it was Bitha.
It was.
What did Bitha do?
She said, she just was like, I would hate to see your For You page. And I was like, that's kind of mean. I was like, I like mine as an adventure. She was like, well, I do too, but your adventure is way different than my adventure.
I tell you, your For You page and the Grapevine's For You page are completely different monsters, because the Grapevine's For You page is just for us to get on there and occasionally forget that we're on the For You page for the Grapevine.
Yeah.
Like, and you'll get to scrolling on that, and it's not programmed to any
No, it
algorithm.
don't know. It don't.
It doesn't. It doesn't know anybody yet.
Those weren't words.
I understood what you were saying. It doesn't It doesn't know who you are.
It doesn't.
It is just throwing everything and seeing what sticks. So I'm scrolling and I'm like, is this what TikTok used to be? That's a funny dance again. Hey, is this somebody making a drink? Oh, this is a recipe. I'm like, it's not programmed for anything yet.
Look, my following page is like that. My For You page is like, it's kind of like you just picked up just a bowl of random rocks and threw them at a piece of duct tape on the wall, and whatever's stuck is what you get.
Yeah.
And I've got a very well curated what I'm following, but most of the time I share stuff from my For You, because it's like a heathen like wasteland
I
in
get
there.
it.
It's like, I don't know why you think I want to see this, but I'm going to share that.
I've recently I'd shifted the gears on mine from showing me so many things going on within a political realm to because that's
I don't want that to infest my algorithm.
yeah, I don't send those to people. I just try to watch and keep up what's going on, and I've lost steam. I can't.
I don't even want to do
can't.
that. I don't want to watch what's going on. I don't want to have conversations with people about what's going on.
I think
even
I
if
can't
we
anymore.
agree on the same things.
Yeah, I think I can't anymore. I think it's too mentally taxing.
It is for no
it's-
reason.
So I've done my best to then divert my page into just showing me
Politics bring nobody joy nor happiness.
no, it brings confrontation and sorrow.
Yes.
That's because I don't think anybody is hopeful and excited about politics. It's all like, okay, this guy sucks, but this guy sucks, but you don't think this guy sucks? Well, this guy sucks. Well,
Show me them cute animals. You know what I'm saying?
Show me
that guy that fell asleep on the porch and had a bear licking his face, and that's how he woke up and freaked out and farted.
That was an AI.
That's
video.
what I want to see. That was
AI created by Sora.
dang, because it looked like one of them outside security cameras.
Yes, it is. Now I've got Sora on my tab, lit. And the
I
wanted to clear it up so nobody tried going to tab at the gym and trying to like pull on her pigtails or something to activate the mechanism. Like, hey, how do you take them videos? Click.
What?
I don't know.
What exactly is that supposed to mean? Because I'm confused.
I don't know.
How would pulling on her ponytails make her take a video?
I don't know. I mean, what are you gonna do? Boop her nose?
I'm very confused.
I don't know. I was trying. I mean, how could the person get confused? Because I paused on tab, and then I was like, and no, we've got the tab's a part of the podcast, so no, tab don't have it. My tablet has it. So I just had to clarify, and then I just I squirreled off into the nethers of that brain thought.
I mean, she might have sore. We don't know.
Yeah, what if she
We don't know her
does?
life.
What if she can't actually do a muscle up, and that's just AI? Oh, she's gonna want to fist fight me in a parking lot now.
She'll want to fight you behind the Applebee's.
No. Well, as long as it's not the Burger King, because Dane has business. That's a deep cut from way back.
Yep.
Oh, man. There's a lot of chuckling going on for a lot of this spooky stuff we're about to talk about. I think I'm just trying to get myself mentally prepared to talk about this demon shit. Because today we're going to be talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren and talking a little bit about the mix of Hollywood versus the actual Ed and Lorraine Warren stories, and I'm excited to talk about that stuff. I'm also slightly nervous to talk about it because there are other things that were found out, and you guys are going to find out about those other things. Something at the door?
Oh, gather round, ye mates of mine, for tales of nerds and lore. Your best friends on a podcast line with laughs and chats galore. From comics bright to movies grand and games we love to play, we'll sail the seas of fandom land in our own nerdy way. Raise a glass to the stories we entwine with laughter loud and knowledge vast, nerded through the grapevine. Heave-ho, come join the crew, we'll share our tales divine. From D&D to MCU, nerded through the grapevine.
Hi, everyone. I'm Austin Shazam. Pfeiffer.
And I'm tiny, and I found 6 jars of Alfredo sauce this morning.
We're Nerded Through the Grapevine, the podcast where two best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. This week, we're continuing our Spooktober event by talking about some demonologists, as well as a movie franchise that has released another movie and it is current. It's something going on, and I'm excited to talk about these things because I actually read a book, even though I can canonically not read. I read a book or two about these folks. Because as most people know, I used to do paranormal investigations. And as a paranormal investigator, you have to take tips and cues and clues from folks that have done it along the way and figuring out how you're going to try to, do the best that you can to see the most stuff. It's like going to the zoo with extra rules. So like if you're going and you go to the monkey exhibit and the monkeys aren't always going to be, they're not always going to be out. But what if you could provoke the monkeys to then come out? Instead of them being like back there getting fed,
like Zach Baggins.
Yeah, like he like. There's a difference.
Is it Baggins or Bacons?
Bacons.
Actually, Bacons.
Yeah, it's Bacons. Not like it's almost like the strip, but that's Bacons. So
dogs don't know it's not bacon.
Dogs don't know it's not Bacons. It's Bacons. He kind of does that intimidation thing. Oh, I wouldn't say intimidation. It's more of like, trying to rile things up. I can't really quite provocation.
Antagonize.
Yeah, he antagonizes. That's it. Antagonizes.
Rage baits.
And provokes. And I'm going to give you guys a little volume drop on this so I can let you know exactly how it goes. Like, if you think you're the toughest and strongest thing that's out there because you're some kind of dark entity, why don't you make a noise right now? Make a noise right now and man up to me.
Yep, pretty much.
And I can only say that and make fun of that because I've been there and done that. I looked face to face into the blackest, most empty void of a hollow person that I've ever seen that was not even there. And I did not run. I tried to speak. It went away. Gah! You ask for it. Why are you going to freak out?
Yeah, it's true.
If you are trying to manifest something by putting your energy and your aggression out there and hoping to bait something into actively being that way in response, why are you freaking out?
Well, see, my brother lived in like an old funeral home at one point. Like had the pull-out drawers and stuff. And that's probably... I will say I didn't really believe in the creepies until then.
Mm-hmm.
That was the creepiest place I've ever been in. Not even gonna lie, because like the little like body storage room, they had like 3 or 4 drawers.
Mm-hmm.
He kept arts and crafts in one. I decided because there was always one open because they would close it, then they'd come back and it would be open, or they've even closed it then it opened. Like.
I mean, I get the convenience of built-in storage, but when it used to be for bodies, that makes it a little cringe.
Well, I decided to sleep in that room once.
Keep going.
I didn't sleep in there for long because as I'm laying on the little drawer, I heard...
Yeah.
So I left.
As one probably should, because you didn't ask for it.
Mm-mm.
You were kind of asking for it.
I mean, yeah, but I was just like, because they had said, hey, sometimes weird stuff happens in my house. Like, here's why. And I was like, I don't believe that mess. Well, that's dumb. They're like, oh, you think so, huh? They're like, well, here's just one little thing. And I was like, I'll go sleep in that room. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out I cared a lot.
You care a lot whenever it's active.
Yeah, because I got called the next day, and he was like, "Are you okay? Like, where are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm home." When'd you leave? I'm not sure what time it was.
When I was told to leave?
It was dark.
I left when I was instructed by the bodiless voice.
I was requested to not be there.
No.
So I chose to go home with my dog.
It's either I had a sudden on-cute schizophrenic episode or there's spiritual activity taking place that communicated with me to leave. I left, please. Thank you. never going back.
Yeah. He even has a video of it on his Instagram where you can hear it.
All of the footage that I had over
room.
all of the years that I investigated, none of it is available because Hunter wants to keep it a secret. And I get it. I get it. Whenever you've seen so much, there's a certain level of you're asking for attention from places that you might not want it if you have stuff that people don't want you to see.
Yeah, but if you're not publicly releasing it. But I guess the only way to ensure that it's not publicly released is to keep it yourself.
Yes.
But
yeah, because
I don't know. You would think, because I'm sure you're the only one that like even cares anymore about it.
Yeah.
Says, hey man, would it be possible to just like get copies of that just for me and nobody else?
No, he said no.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I would be like, all right, bro, just don't put it out there nowhere. All right, cool. I can respect that.
No, he does not want it being out there because we saw too much. We brought stuff onto things too close to us. We had to get out of it. I don't blame him in a way for not wanting to stir the shit back up. He had to go through several rites and blessings to cleanse his home because something had made its way into his home.
Well,
and that's the kind of thing that these people were out there trying to help everyone with.
Well, not only am I an ordained minister, I'm also a licensed demonologist.
Are you really?
Yeah, I paid $30 for that from a website.
Did you have to take a test or anything?
The test was to see if I could give them $30.
And you passed the test.
I did. Does it get me anything? No.
No, I wouldn't think so.
But I just think it's funny to have the certificate. I should get it printed.
You should. Having a digital certificate makes no sense. That's like
should get it printed. We can hang it up here or something.
It's like one of the what that's like an NFT. Like
no,
you have an NFT certificate.
I do.
Does that really count?
I mean, how many people can say that?
I mean, not me. I've got a license for magic.
Heck yeah.
It's hanging on my bedroom wall. I got that through a magic society.
Nice.
I didn't know they were magic until I started digging more recently, and I started playing a video game called Hades 2 to where you're a witch, and a lot of their verbiage and language has been really very fucking familiar to me. So
weird.
Never made that connection, but I've been digging. So Ed and Lorraine Warren were demonologists that were practicing as far back as the 1950s. Ed was not even a priest, but he was kind of a man that had a devoutness to him in the religion. I forget what sect of Christianity it was, but one of the only men to ever be sanctified by the Vatican to perform the rite of exorcism, but not be involved directly with the clergy. Didn't know if you knew that little fact.
I didn't know that.
That is cool.
Yeah, they've done that a select few times. He was the first one.
Yeah.
They did that a few years ago. They were even doing that with people of other faiths.
Yeah.
Like some, Muslims that were in the area. If you had so many years experience as a demonologist, they were willing to give you this blessing that they give their exorcists because they were like, there's so much more activity now than at any other point in the history of the world.
Yeah, like a recruitment, almost kind of thing.
Yeah.
That wouldn't really surprise me too much because I mean
it was an expensive class.
That's also not surprising. I used to buy religious relics from the Vatican so I can wear them while I would go on ghost trips.
Yeah.
So I mean, after the bad thing happened to me, there were still more trips after that. So after that happened, it wasn't to me; it was just to the neighbor and the little boy that she was. That story.
Yeah.
We told it on the old podcast
It was
once upon a time.
Last Spooktober, I
It
believe.
was last Spooktober. If y'all ever want to hear that story and you haven't already heard that
I
story,
think the title of the episode was Austin's Ghost Adventuring.
yes. After that happened to me, there were more ghost adventures to be had, but there weren't many. And that just because I saw Hollywood in real life.
Right.
Like, and once something manifests in real life and you know that it exists the rest of your life, you have to wonder about what's your place in it. And then that's me left in this weird psychosis for the rest of my life, knowing what I've seen and what is real and what's not real is always a question. But yet I still got to function as a normal human, so I got to put that shit on the back burner, you know? So, but Ed and Lorraine Warren, they were full on fighting the entire time for the side of both faith and purity to try to help people that were suffering from dark spirits oppressing them and trying to, and in some cases, even possessing members of families. So the Warrens, I'm going to go in chronological order here of the movies real quick, just to let you all know what the movies are and how you would need to watch them now that they're all out, so you can see what, when this takes place. How are you needing to watch this to make the story a cohesive, follow through of a timeline? Because they weren't released in that fashion.
So these were basically the Warren files, but set to movies?
Yes, the Conjuring series.
See, I never knew that.
The Conjuring is based off of the real files of the Warrens. So the first movie takes place in 1952 in Romania, and it's the origins of the demon Valdek, who takes the form of this nun in this old monastery. The Nun 2 is a continuation of that story involving a battle between a nun and that demon.
Dumbest movie I've ever seen.
The Nun.
It was just one part of the movie.
There's some dumb spots in the Nun. It's like a jump scare Hollywood flick.
That's the blood of Christ. You mean Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
You mean that's the blood of Christ? You mean that's the blood of Jesus Christ? No, it's his fucking cousin Bobby.
No,
that's Bobby Christ's blood.
No, that's Jesus Cristo. No, he works down at the pub. We just drain him.
That line was the dumbest line I've ever heard in a movie.
Yeah, it was a little bit infomercially. Like, you're telling me I can set it and forget it?
Yeah.
How many Christs do you know?
I mean, literally,
by the way,
it made the rest of the movie feel like a comedy movie after that, because I laughed for the entire rest of the movie about that being the blood of Bobby Christ.
I can imagine.
The lady I was seeing was pissed.
I can imagine I can imagine being in church and somebody gives me, it's like you're doing communion.
Gigs in church.
And then they say, They say body of Christ, and when they're giving you the wafer, and then you say, "You mean Bobby?"
I've never had that happen.
What?
That's not how my church has ever done communion. I'm not Catholic.
Oh, well, I mean,
they just pass around a plate, and you're just like, "Hey, you just go on and get you one of these crackers and one of these little thimbles of juice, but hang on to them. Don't eat and drink it yet, because we got to talk about it and pray over it."
I've been all over, man. If you can think of
the worst are them all-in-ones. With the thing you peel back, and it's got that spongy, just gross thing. And then you peel it back again, and it tastes like wine took a piss.
Yeah, I've been to if you can name a denomination, I've went. The only ones that I have not gone to are ones that speak a different language than me. Would be the point.
Yeah.
Now that'd be wild. All of a sudden, there's the spirit. Jesus Cristo.
Jesus Cristo.
Jesus Cristo. So then you got the Nun 2. Jesus Christ. That's a good set. It makes me think of Troll 2 that we talked about. And they're trying to eat me. Oh my God.
I just saw that old Bill Cosby set up. Mom, you said my name, Jesus Christ.
Then you had Annabelle Creation that took place in 1955 through 1967. It's the origin of Annabelle, which is one of the most famous cases ever by the Warrens. Then you have Annabelle, which took place in 1967, and that's when Ed and Lorraine are introduced to the couple that were terrorized by the possessed doll.
That kind of makes the whole Warren House occult museum make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Because I've seen pictures of, oh, that's the Annabelle doll, and I'm like, I've always was thinking like the movie prop.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't realize that these were based on Warren cases.
Yeah, the real ass Annabelle doll that's going around
How did people just know this? Because I didn't know it.
You just never. It was, dude. All it is just simple math that you never thought to do.
Well, I've also only ever seen The Nun too.
Oh, you've never seen any of the other Conjuring?
No.
Dude, they're actually good scaries. Like you give a shit about the characters in them. You wonder about like what's the origin of what's going on
Well,
with
I mean,
them.
I've seen the Amityville Horror, but that's the only one of them that I've seen.
Yeah. Now that's tied to Ed and Lorraine Warren in a
I've
different
seen
way.
both of those.
Because they've not been in
Not the sequel, the original and the reboot.
they've never Ed and Lorraine Warren as far as like the modern iterations of them have never been in the Amityville house yet.
Hmm.
Because that was one of their major cases that happened, a little bit later on after a lot of the other ones that happened.
Isn't the Occult History Museum in the Amityville Horror House?
No, the Occult History Museum is in Ed and Lorraine Warren's house.
Oh, okay. You know Matt Rife bought that?
I don't want to talk about it.
About the fact that he bought it or just him?
Both of those things make me uncomfortable. Because the origins of where did Matt Rife come from to where is he now to what's he doing to why did he buy this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that in my brain available, and I can't make that connection.
Would it be weird to go do some gardening there?
No.
No, I mean, that could either be one of the coolest or worst experiences you've ever had.
You want me to tell you what the worst experience you could have going there would be?
What?
Eat you some fungi.
I'm not gonna.
I know that you wouldn't in the first place, but the fungi connection spiritually to stuff that you have, I ain't gonna be opening up that part of me around to stuff like that. I ain't gonna be. But make yourself a vessel for anything in there. Hell no. Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
To the
Hell-
no,
hell to
no,
the
no.
no.
Hell no.
Hell no, hell to the no. No, I ain't doing it. That's not for me. And it's not like I'm a big old scaredy cat of stuff.
Like,
It's just
look, I'm not gonna be all chicken and a corn and that some bitch.
like I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. I'm not gonna just openly invite myself because that's what I feel like whenever I have consumed the fungus. Is I feel more open to everything. Like that is the way that it's making me feel like I am more connected to all this stuff going around. But all it's really doing for me mentally is just decompressing stuff.
So you're saying if the world was ending,
No,
and that would be the only thing that would save us, all I would have to do is get you some mushrooms?
you've trapped me here. You've trapped me here, and I don't know how to appropriately answer
Look,
you.
I don't need to use the key to every lock, but I like to know where they are.
I'd say at that point, you got a 50-50 instead of a hard no. You'd have a 50-50 instead of a hard no right there. If it would save the world and I don't know, man.
No, if that was the key to saving the world.
Oh.
That's not the end game to do that.
Okay.
Because the last time you was like, I would rather die.
Yeah.
But now I know the key to the lock.
The key.
So I could save the world if I
It's-
needed to.
It's a 50-50. Sometimes that lock catches.
Mhm.
You don't know. The thing that comes after, let's see, we got Annabelle. That's where they got originally introduced to the doll. Then you got Annabelle Comes Home. That's going to be taking place inside of the Warrens Museum when the doll is actually unleashed from its captivity inside of the museum. The original Conjuring movie takes later in the place of the Warren franchise as far as what the time frame goes, because all those other ones are coming before.
Don't they have a hole in the thing where you can touch the Annabelle?
No, absolutely not.
I thought they did at one
No,
point.
fuck no. It literally says do not open, do not touch. Like it's all over it. And they took it out and were showing it, and the guy that bought it is dead. He was running the museum that was on tour. He touched the doll. He took it out. He was the one keeping it in his room at night. He's fucking dead.
Why would he keep it in his room at night?
Because it's worth a lot of money, and people want that doll because it's one of the darkest reported things that you've ever had. Like as far as spiritual items, that Raggedy Ann doll named Annabelle is.
Why not just keep it in its case? Like, it's in a case. There's no need to let it out of the case. Just keep it in the case.
why would you just want to take it around with you in the first place?
I mean, I wouldn't want it at all.
Because The Conjuring comes first, and that's taking place during the Perrin family haunting. It's going to be in Rhode Island. They're central to the story on that. Then the next is something called The Curse of La Llorona. And that is a standalone that features a guy from Annabelle. His name's Father Perez. It's like tying his spirituality and like other things he had been through and like extra legitimizing his character kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And then you've got The Conjuring 2. That's the Enfield Poltergeist that takes place in 1978 in Enfield, England. You had 1981 from Connecticut, The Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It. It was Arne Johnson possession murder case. And then you had The Conjuring Last Rites that took place in 1980s Pennsylvania. And it was based on the Smurl haunting, and it serves as a cinematic finale to the Warren series. Thanks for joining us, everyone. If you want a little bit of extra grapes, all you got to do is get onto the TikTok. There's some shorts on there highlighting some of our funnies that we've had along the way. I'm the only one on TikTok a lot of times, just doom scrolling and just carrying on, so that's why it's on my TikTok. So if you want to get on there, look up austin.shazam.phi on TikTok. You'll be able to find all the grape reels on there, as well as getting onto our Patreon for some extra squeeze. For $5 a month, you will have an extended episode that is uncut directly from record button to record button. No shenanigans are left out. If you get on the $10 tier of our Patreon, you get the uncut video as well, along with special videos and special segments that we do just for the $10 tier. Get on there, get all of our extra content, help support the podcast, and we would appreciate it greatly.
That's my peanut butter.
Have you ever been sitting in your car listening to us and you go, I wonder what these two chuckleheads look like while they're, laughing hysterically, or I just really want to see the reaction? Get on YouTube. You can see that there. The video releases every Friday. I mean, it's not uncut like, if you was on the Patreon, but you still get to see. And then if you scroll down to the description, you look there, there's a link that'll take you over to the Discord. We call that the Backyard Bonanza. You can talk to us directly. We're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
So the actual stories are pretty scary if you believe what the Warrens had said. So if you want to go into the Perrin family from the original Conjuring, they were from Harrisville, Rhode Island.
Oddly enough, Lorraine Warren died in 2019.
Yeah,
she's actually seen most of these movies.
Yeah, she was in some of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she made cameos.
He died in 2006.
Yeah, Ed's been gone for a while. But Lorraine was in the first Conjuring movie. Whenever you watch The Conjuring, you're going to see Patrick Wilson, who's playing Ed Warren. Patrick Wilson, also better known as Raoul from Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
Raoul. Oh my God, little Lottie thought. I found her. Anyway,
he's a good actor.
Also been in a ton of different stuff. Patrick Wilson's awesome. He can sing like crazy. He was Owlman in Watchmen.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, he's versatile.
Dang.
So him being Ed Warren, he's talking and giving a little bit of like a lecture in a college over demonology and different things. And one of the people in the audience for the seminar that he is giving is actually Lorraine Warren, the real one. So a little cameo.
Oh, that's cool.
So the Perrin haunting from Harrisville, Rhode Island, took place in 1970s. The Perrin family moved into a farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. In the early 1970s, they reported a range of strange phenomena over the years between odd noises, cold spots, objects moving, and the Perrins told their story in books and interviews, several decades later. But Ed and Lorraine visited the family and conducted a seance to try to antagonize that spiritual presence to come out and face them. And Andrea Perrin, one of the daughters, wrote a multi-volume account of the experience. But the movie amplifies some of the visual effects of the things that were going on, but the narrative events that were happening actually took place.
Dang.
So it might not have looked and been as like over.
Visceral.
It's not like there's not a hurricane in this house,
Right.
but stuff was flying around. There was, growling. There was a point of like of low energy with the woman. I forget her name, but she was like oppressed by a demonic force towards like isolating her and trying to get her off to herself and like making it like real bad things. But it wasn't as cinematic as the way that it was portrayed in the movie.
Right.
With, like now there's a hurricane in the house. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, the infield poltergeist from Conjuring 2 was from 1977 and 1978 with the Hodgson family, two sisters, Janet and Margaret. They purported a poltergeist-style activity in Enfield. British investigators Maurice Gross and Guy Lyon Playfair from the Society of Psychological Research documented the case. It became famous and controversial at the same time. Multiple independent observers concluded some phenomena were faked by the children, while others, investigators, thought that a lot of the recordings and events were so unexplainable they had to be real. So it was like a mix between like, the children know that there's getting a lot of attention from the spiritual activity going on, and they are almost wanting to feed into it, so now they're trying to think of ways to make things look like spirits are doing it. But that is not doing anything but masking and adding disbelief to the fact that there is spiritual activity and things that are happening. So it's basically just a decreditation of it.
I mean, that's basically what society does right now. They want to discredit anything and everything. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay. So the Warrens did visit briefly, but they were not the lead investigators on that case. The way that the Conjuring 2 went.
Gotcha. Because I mean, there were other people out there doing this type of thing at the same time. They just weren't as prolific.
Yeah,
is that the right word?
Yeah, as well renowned.
Yeah.
Just because the Warrens hit it big with the Amityville Horror. Like they hit it so big because that film, the film made that story explode. And the real life people that investigated it had posted pictures of things that they had found in that house. And it's some of the like creepiest like spirit photography that people have seen. But it's just it's
Wasn't Ryan Reynolds in that movie?
Yes. Yeah, the reboot version of it.
Yeah.
He was like fresh off
great, and it's weird.
And he was fresh off of Blade Trinity, which was just Deadpool no suit.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like jacked, swinging an axe in the rain. Like I don't know. That's like it was the beefiest Ryan Reynolds that ever existed, and I don't think he'll ever do it again.
I mean, you never know.
I mean, I guess you could throw enough money at him, he might want to do it again. But
maybe
the amount of work that a skinny dude like him has to do to be able to put on the amount of muscle that was.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds as a person just looks like a typical white dad with glasses.
Yeah,
very unassuming looking fella.
Yeah, and then he can achieve an athletic build pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying he's unathletic. I'm just saying he wears his little cardigan and his glasses and his little.
Yeah.
Just looks like everybody's dad, like from a TV show.
Let me look at this real quick here too. The one that I was the most familiar with, especially from reading the Demonologist, that was the book on Ed and Lorraine Warren. I was very familiar with the Annabelle case because of the Annabelle case descriptor from a secondhand event, not from Ed and Lorraine Warren, but from somebody that was a part of their team. He was the one who was writing the events down.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't directly from them what was going on, but it was a part of their team, and he was giving information. Mm-hmm. So, but Annabelle was literally physically interacting with people and trying to fucking kill them.
Dang, like the doll itself,
like not Raggedy Ann the doll. Like it was a body
entity.
It was a bodied infestation of that doll by a demonic entity, and it is still in that doll. Supposedly, if you believe in that kind of thing. but the doll would leave bloody scratches, like not talking like a handprint, like you see some people like, I think something touched me. Oh my God, look at the handprint. Like it happens. Things do happen that way. Do you occasionally get the occasional? If you're out in a highly spiritual active place and there are things that can touch you, they will touch you. Like that's not what Annabelle did. Annabelle mauled. A mauling is not something that typically happens from a spiritual presence because that takes power to manifest physical interaction out of nothing. So the Annabelle case to me is especially concerning when I see that it's traveling around the United States and being purchased by different celebrities. Like it should have gone through a rite, or it should be locked up in an actual archive, like where the chronovisor is.
Yeah, look, let's just give it to the Vatican. Like,
Seriously,
they're supposed to like handle and maintain, control these types of. I bit my tongue. These types of things.
I hate biting my tongue.
Remember, at least it's just a nick.
Remember that time that Jim left the office for the day because he bit his lip too many times?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was just done. It happens. But yeah, Annabelle was. It should be definitely. I think it should be kept near the chronovisor. Like we don't need it out here,
No,
out and about,
not.
out and about. Like we don't need it. Like nobody needs that chronovisor.
If all the accounts are true, yeah, we definitely don't need that.
I mean, there's a lot of extra fiction now revolving around the stories of Annabelle. But before the stories of fiction and the Hollywood investment into Annabelle became a thing, the actual stories of Annabelle, like, get into them if you want a good spook. Like it's concerning, especially for a person like me that doesn't like dolls in the first place. It's not even a doll; it's a Raggedy Ann. Like it's like a floppy socky doll. There's nothing in impending doom from staring at a Raggedy Ann doll.
There's nothing inherently.
Yeah.
What's a good word?
It's pokey stabby, dangerous.
No.
Threatening.
Yeah. But not threatening.
Yeah. I mean, it's not threatening at all.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I forget the man's name, and
Very unassuming vessel.
I could look up the. look up the man's name because it was a dude that did it. The dude that got the most fucked up by Annabelle. But this man was taunting it because the women in the apartment felt like they were being abused by this doll, and it was trying to it was moving itself. It was moving things. It was slamming doors. It was appearing in rooms that it wasn't previously in. Nobody was moving it. He thought it was just. Then they're like, oh, you think you're so bad. You think you're scary or something? One of those intimidation kind of things. And that doll fucked him up. He had to go to the hospital. He had to be hospitalized.
Look, if there's a thing in my house that it's moving about willy-nilly and doing stuff,
yeah,
it's no longer going to be in my house. I don't care where it needs to go. It will not be at my address.
One of my favorite TikTok trends that's happening here recently is the fishing line doll trick. And
I'm not seeing that.
Oh my Lord! Because the best reactions
what is
for me,
it? You just put it on there and somebody looks at it and then it like moves a little.
Yeah, and you just barely give it like one of those, and you just make it kind of budge a little.
Can we do that to Angie?
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
That would be so
Jason can co-sign on it. He'll probably listen to the episode. Just don't tell Angie. We'll do it. We gotta cooperate.
I mean, I've even got a couple dolls we could do it with.
Yeah, I know you do. Now my stomach just turned a little bit. But
or I can just get a new one.
You need to get a plastic one because you got to give it a good yank at the end.
Oh yeah, because he's probably gonna spike it.
Yeah, you got to be ready for number one. The fishing line can be attached and ran in a way to where you pull it and it moves, but then you got to pull it hard and then it can like jump.
Yeah,
because I've seen it with some grandsons pranking their grandmothers. Mm-hmm. Like they got a really religious grandmother, and then they do this prank on her. And boy, let me tell you, the hilarity in the things that are like the wails. And I'm not talking like the kind of wails that you were referring to. Right. I'm talking like the screams,
the ones with the eye in it,
the wails that the grandmothers will get into because they're right. They're right. I knew it. It's here. It's here. The demons are here. I told you. Like it's, it's a reaction that is just it is so real for those grandmothers at that point because they are freaking out because why is this evil here? And all it is a fishing line and a doll and a dickhead grandson.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, that's
If we could figure out a way to hook this up to where you do a big yank and it flies at his face or something, oh, that'd be the ultimate.
the Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It, is based off of an actual case to where a man named Arne Johnson, he was tried after stabbing a man to death in Connecticut. In his defense, attempted to use claims of demonic possession based on the events involving the Glatzel family and an earlier alleged possession by David Glatzel. And the Warrens, they were involved in publicizing the possession claim, but the court rejected possession as a legal defense, and Johnson was convicted. So that's what that movie is based off of, an actual event that the Warrens were involved in with an actual murder with a man claiming the devil made me do it.
Gotcha.
Because that Gletzel guy got off with the devil made me do it as an excuse. Yeah, I don't think it was a didn't go to prison kind of excuse. I think it was a gotta go to the quiet room kind of excuse. Like,
went to the funny farm.
You don't have to go to prison for what you've done. Just step this way, smell this rag.
You see how soft these walls are?
Smell this rag. Where am I?
Is this a Jeffrey?
You went to sleep.
Is this what a Jeffrey is?
You time traveled, sir. You woke up in a completely different place. The movie The Conjuring: The Last Rites. I've not seen this one yet. I've seen all the other ones. I'm hardcore like that. You know me in movies.
Yep.
So you in book series. I'm going to finish them. I've not watched this one yet. Once it becomes available on a streaming service, I will be streaming it. It's just that.
Oh, is this one like new?
This one's new. It's not out yet.
Oh,
Like, as far as like, let me think. Let me actually look up when that movie was released, because it is 2025. Conjuring: The Last Rites. It came out. It's in theaters currently right now. So whenever that's going to come out on streaming services here pretty soon, hopefully, and I will watch it then. Just because I can't movie theater.
No, absolutely not.
I can't. I'm a streaming boy.
I mean, since we've gotten to the point where we can stream them like a week or two into their run, why would I want to go to the theater?
There's not really no point.
I have to wear pants there.
In that movie, The Last Rites, it's based off of Jack and Janet Smurl. They reported an escalating haunting in the 1970s into the 1980s, and the Warrens investigated the family's claims in 1986. The case became a national story. The thing was called The Haunted, and it was a 1991 television movie. Skeptics argued for psychological and medical explanations and criticized the lack of independent corroboration for reporting on what was going on with that family. So that's what the real story is. I don't know what the movie's going to be like. I ain't seen it, because they're going to, but that's where it's based off of. It's going to be based within those things. Also, there are other movies that are not in the Conjuring franchise that are featuring Ed and Lorraine Warren as characters. You also have The Haunting in Connecticut. The film claims ties to the Parsons case, and the Parsons case was a case that the Warrens were associated with. It was also a case that had been heavily disputed and criticized by skeptics and researchers. So Haunting in Connecticut and that case kind of just coincided together, so it was similar ideas of investigative property to it. And then you've got the Amityville case. Everything from the 1979 all the way up through the remakes. The Warrens were linked to the Amityville lore by popular accounts, movies, and times. The Amityville story is heavily disputed and litigated. If you want to, you can actually list Amityville Warren connections and sources because they do go in a branch, but they are not a part of the Conjuring franchise.
Gotcha.
Because Amityville within itself, as far as the story for that goes, is its own individual IP, and you have to have certain rights to be able to have that. So now maybe, after all this is said and done, and even though that's the last one, that case took place in 1979. The last case they're doing took place in 1986. So I guess that would mean you could do a prequel and do an Ed and Lorraine Warren from, a modern, these Ed and Lorraine Warrens in Amityville.
Yeah.
because I can remember one thing really about the Ryan Reynolds Amityville horror movie, and it was the phrase that the entity kept telling him whenever he was trying to rest or he was isolated, or what it was telling him the entire time. Do you remember that phrase?
No, I don't.
Did you watch the movie?
I did. It's just been a very long time.
Catch 'em. Kill 'em.
What about ketchup?
Catch 'em. Kill 'em.
Ketchum, kill him. Jeremiah Ketchum was the man who owned the property. Ketchum will kill him. It wasn't very clever.
Oh, well, I was like, catch them, kill them.
Yeah, you would think so. That name just, catch him, kill him. I don't like it. It was just weird. It didn't. Now the rest of the movie was creepy as shit, and that part just like aggravated me. Like, this is corny.
I mean, with every horror movie, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Just depends on how much that is.
Now, the legitimacy that I held a majority of Ed and Lorraine's findings in my brain as really, they were telling the truth. That's the way Brain, up until a few years ago, had Ed and Lorraine Warren on like this pedestal of they were doing all this good work. They need recognition for it, like all this other stuff. And then I listened to a podcast that we were buddies with called Haunter. I barely know her, and they were going into some Ed and Lorraine Warren facts one day. And this back when I was managing GNC, and I was listening to podcasts in my earbud while I was waiting on customers to come in, and I was documenting how many things I needed to throw out from 6-year-old expired supplements. It's a very poorly ran store. It was a very poorly ran store. So anyway, I'm in there doing that, and I'm just flabbergasted to find out that these people that I really admired through all those years of paranormal investigations and all of this time that I've taken into trying to figure out what they did to try to make sure that they wouldn't be bringing stuff home with them, that they weren't trying to isolate and keep safe, from other people coming in contact. And then it come to find out, Ed had a underage mistress / cleaning lady that lived in the house, and Lorraine was just fine with it. It's you can look it up if you'd like to on your machine box over there, so you can get some more details.
What I was doing,
because I heard I've got it logged in. It is there as information. It makes me nervous to try to because it's very heartbreaking for somebody to be. So you can look, you can read about it if you'd like to.
So the allegations were Judith Penny claimed that she lived with Ed and Lorraine Warren for about 40 years, starting in the 60s when she was underage, around 15 or 16. She alleged that she and Ed had a sexual relationship that began when she was a minor. Lorraine knew about it and allowed her to live with him as part of a long-term arrangement. Ed was controlling and sometimes violent, according to her statement and court documents referenced by the report. She also said she was treated like a kept woman, living in the Warrens' home and helping with their paranormal business. Now, my thing is, granted, when you're a minor, there's not a lot you can do to extricate yourself from situations, especially during those times. But after that, she was there for 40 years. So that tells me one of two things. Either she's a dirty fucking liar, or she was so brainwashed for 40 years
She didn't think she could leave.
that she just didn't think she could leave, or just become accustomed and maybe even liked the arrangement.
And none of those are mutually exclusive to each other. It could be a blend. But just the fact that I'm real prone to believing somebody whenever they tell me something that's kind of a raw thing, like they had sex with me when I was a minor, kind of thing. Like, yeah, I mean, And it is give and take on that too, because then there's 40 years of history that goes along with it. Past that, it's not like it was something like it's not. It was, but at the same time too, back in those days, you were also kind of stuck in your situations. Like you're stuck in your situations. Like as a woman back in those days, it's not like you can just go out and go get a job and go make everything better.
Right. I mean, especially being that young, but also at the same time, the part of the problem is you waited 40 years before you said something. You know what I mean? Like all the evidence is gone. There's no way to prove anything, and so it's left as hearsay.
Yeah.
So you can't,
because the Warrens were no longer
the people
around.
can never, either they're no longer around, or they can't be wood chipperized because there's no evidence.
Yeah, I mean, what good is it going to
Which,
do?
if what she said is 100% truth and factual, they're not even people anymore.
Yeah, you get into a different level of
It's chippy food.
yeah, because I don't want it to be true. I would hate to, but at the same time, the real life version of things that happen and the characters that are portrayed within the movie universe are completely different. I think that the movie universe does a little bit more of a stretch into the clairvoyance and the supernatural abilities that were possessed by Lorraine, even though Lorraine did possess supposed clairvoyant supernatural abilities that she had discovered as a child.
I think a lot of people have a touch of it in some ways or another.
I mean, we're spiritual beings. I mean, if you think about it from the hippie point of view, and I say hippie point of view because I say a lot of
spirits wrapped in a weird flesh suit.
We are the universe. We are the universe experiencing itself. So it's an odd thing to be human.
It sounds like it's jerking off.
Well, it does.
Sounds like the universe is jerking off, and we're the canine finish of that.
We're the canine finish of the universe's jerk off.
Yeah,
You're so poetic.
I don't like that.
You're so poetic. Who would have ever thought that such poetic words would come out of your lips?
Maybe I should release a book of poetry. Then I can be.
You still haven't released letters from Charlie. Well, you got to work on another book first.
I lost the file.
Dude, you got to start over.
I know.
You got to start over and you got to do it again. Just because you've promised the people a book and you've never delivered the book, who are you? Are you Martin?
No. Maybe I'll do that Monday. Remind me.
That's tomorrow.
I know.
I can't remind you tomorrow. I'll remind you Tuesday if I can remember. If you want to get into the book that I read, it's called The Demonologist. That can give you a more in-depth read up on a lot of the cases of Ed and Lorraine Warren, not featuring the information that we just said. It was released, I believe, in the 90s, so it's not exactly a newfangled book. It was they're okay with this book being out here. He's a cool dude kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to read that, you can get a little bit more insight into the in-depth scenarios revolving around the cases. The Annabelle case especially is very descriptive within that, just because that is one of the most popular cases, and it was one of the weirdest cases. I mean, they still have the doll locked up. So I mean, it's I don't know. It's spooky.
Isn't it still at the Warren house? Or
No, it's on tour.
Oh, ew.
The actual doll.
Why is it not back with all the other spooky shit?
Because it's on tour. And I just told you that the guy that originally had it out on tour died while he was on tour with it. And then Matt Rife bought it.
I just thought it went back to wherever Matt Rife keeps it.
No, he bought it. He's going to put it somewhere else.
I thought he was going to put it back in the museum. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a weird Russian roulette.
Maybe he's the long lost Warren son.
Maybe. I haven't.
Maybe he's Ed and Lorraine Warren's son that nobody ever knew about.
He's awfully young to be their son, considering that.
Look,
he's like in his what 30s?
Look at Robert De Niro. The man's like 97 and had a baby.
Jeez, you're right. I forgot that dude had a baby recently.
Yeah. I thought he was just I thought that had either been blanks or little white flags with dust on them.
No. No, he's Robert De
He
Niro.
fathered a child.
He's Robert De Niro. He's pulling that. He's pulling that Noah.
Yeah.
He popping him out.
Yeah. So, still possible.
It is still possible. So I think that if a person needs some good spookies that are revolving around supernatural stories, that you should investigate yourself by watching the Conjuring series. I gave you the chronological order to watch them in case you wanted to watch them from the first instance in time to where they took place and watch it all the way through time and travel through the scenario of the spiritual with them. Or if you wanted to watch them in just standard order, you could just do whatever. I'm not your boss, but now that there is a chronological order, you might as well see them in chronological order. You know, just like people that watch Star Wars from number 1 to number 9, but for some reason stop at number 8 and never watch number 9.
I just work here, man.
We just like.
I mean, I've seen all 9 though.
I know, but I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna put a.
Or like those people who've never watched The Return of the King.
He still hasn't. He still to this day has not watched Return of the King.
Maybe one of these days we lure him up here.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Dane, Austin really needs you. You need to come to his house. Okay, and then he walks in. You get him over in the kitchen area.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, hey, Dane, have you ever tried a dirty soda? And he's like, nah, I've never tried one,
Yeah.
but I've been curious.
Yeah.
I've been batting around this idea of experimenting with the dirty soda.
I don't have to roofie a soda, do I?
No,
Okay.
no. So you give him the dirty soda.
Uh-huh.
He takes a sip. I take 1 to 2 steps out of the wood room, and I grab him.
Okay.
Hillary Clinton black bag style.
Yes.
Get him like all trussed up, you know.
Uh-huh.
Hands cuffed, ankles cuffed. We deposit him on your couch and pull off the hood because at this point,
It's already
now-
on the TV.
well, it's on the TV and he has no idea where he's at anymore due to the bag.
Even though
Because
he's traveled
because
25 feet.
He's been disoriented and he's moved 6 to 10 feet. And then he watches it. And then we let him, you know, we feed him like maybe some popcorn and pizza. You know, we're not heartless here.
Yeah. We want to make sure he enjoys it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when he's done watching the movie, we can fully release him.
Yeah.
Not like that. We can remove the cuffs and be like, Dane, wasn't that a good movie? Wasn't that a fine ending to that trilogy? And then he goes, you know what? Boys are right. Probably one of the greatest things I've ever watched.
Because it only won like all the Oscars.
Yeah, like all of them. That year it was the Oscars. It was like, cool. Let's see how else people really like this movies.
Let's see how much people like Lord of the Rings from this standpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, it wins. Okay, well, what about this standpoint? What about the design of the... Oh, yeah, okay, well, that wins too. All right, well, what about this actor? He had this role in there. Maybe it was just a supporting... Oh, okay, best supporting. Okay, so, yeah, it's dope.
They're like, man, we would have put Lord of the Rings on here for best comedy of the year, but that just wouldn't make any damn sense.
Yep. You know what else don't make any damn sense?
What?
How quickly hours go by.
I know, it's wild. It's like we time travel.
Yeah, it's so weird. And you didn't even have to sniff a rag.
Didn't.
Hey, does this rag smell like chloroform to you?
Well, you know, they say that it takes between 5 to 10 minutes for chloroform to actually render someone unconscious.
Yeah.
You have time to fight them off. It's not like a 2-second sniffing out. You've got 5 to 10 minutes you have to breathe this before it will knock you unconscious.
Yeah, well, I'll just let you know from a first-hand standpoint with the inhaling vaporous fumes coming off of a leaking muriatic acid pump. There are some chemicals that'll take the wind out of it and you can't fight.
I mean, that's true.
Luckily, I had propped open the door that was the big garage bay door to the pump room area that I was in.
Yeah.
And I had enough wherewithal of me to realize that I was going down, and I took a running dart towards that door, and I woke up on the ground.
I mean, it kind of sounds like the time that I tried to siphon gas out of an old car in the
Yummy.
yard. It wasn't good.
Speaking of that,
Two big old lungs full of gas fumes.
shoo.
Don't do that. Horrible idea.
All right, everybody. It's been another week. Next week, we're going to be coming at you with a little bit more spooky of the
With
Spooktober.
something else. You know, if we're not talking about this, we're talking about something else.
If I were you, I would possibly look into Ed Gein if you like spoilers. We'll see y'all next week. Oh, grapes in your ass.
Heave-ho, raise a glass to the stories we entwine with laughter, loud and knowledge vast. Nerded through the grapevine. Heave-ho, come join the crew, we'll share our tales divine.